Welcome to AJ Akshara Academy YouTube channel. In this session, I am going to discuss class 10 refraction of light at curved surfaces part 1 AP and TS boards reflection on concepts question answers. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Please share your valuable comments in the comment section. Okay, let us go to the today's session. First question, reflection of concepts. Write the lens maker's formula and explain the terms in it. In this question, they given we have to write lens maker formula and we have to explain the terms in it. So now let us discuss. Lens maker formula is 1 by f is equals to n minus 1 of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Here this is the lens maker's formula. So 1 by f is equals to n minus 1 of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, where now we are explaining the terms, where f is the focal length, n is the refractive index of lens and r1, r2 are the radii of curvatures of two surfaces in the lens. R1 denotes the first surface, R2 denotes the radius of curvature of the second surface. Okay, this is about the lens maker formula and its terms explanation. Okay, now let us go to the second question. How do you verify experimentally that focal length of a convex lens is increased when it is kept in water? Here in this question, we have to prove that whenever we are dipping the in water, convex lens, its focal length increases. We have to verify experimentally. Now let us discuss. First point, take a convex lens whose focal length is known. So we have to take a convex lens of known focal length. Next, take a cylindrical vessel such a glass tumbler whose height must be nearly 4 times of the focal length of the lens. Suppose for example, here we are taking suppose the focal length of 15 centimeters of convex lens. So we have to take the cylindrical vessel such as the glass tumbler whose height must be nearly 4 times 15 for the 60 centimeters height. Okay, now next third point, to keep a black stone inside the vessel at its bottom. Now we have to take a stone and we have to insert the stone in the cylindrical vessel. Now pour water into the vessel up to a height such that the height of up to a height such that the height of water level from top of the stone is greater than the focal length of the lens. So here this is a such that such that the height of water level from top of the stone is greater than the focal length of the lens. Here height of the water 4 times the focal length of the lens. So we have to take the water level greater than the focal length of the lens. This is the condition of this. So next point. Now launch horizontally using a circular lens holder as shown in the figure. Set the distances between the stone and the length that is equal to or less than the focal length of the lens. Now look at the stone through the lens. So we can see the image of the stone if the distance between the lens and the stone is less than the focal length of the lens. See the picture. This is the here this is the cylindrical vessel and this is the lens holder, and here we are taking the stone, and by the lens holder we are placing a lens, and this is the circular holder, and this is the, now this is the stone lens holder, this is lens holder, and this is the stone. Now first what here we are observing, first one, take a convex lens of focal length, non focal length, and this is the cylindrical vessel. Height of this cylindrical vessel must be greater than the focal length of the convex lens, and keep a black stone in the vessel at the bottom. Now we are pouring the water. So compulsory height of water level from the top of a stone is greater than the focal length of the lens. Now dip the lens horizontally using a circular lens. This is the circular lens holder. Now we are placing the convex lens by using the lens holder. Set the distance between stone and the lens, that is equal to or less than the focal length of the lens. This distance we have to adjust. Now look at the stone through the lens. Now here we are observing the image of the lens by using the lens holder, and we can see the image of the stone if the distance between the lens and the stone is less than the focal length of the lens. Now we are increasing the distance between the lens and the stone until you can't see the image of the stone. Now we have dipped the lens to a certain height which is greater than the focal length of the lens in air, but we can see the image. This shows that a focal length of the lens has increased in water. So suppose for example focal length of unknown focal length, it is 15 centimeter, we take the lens. Then whenever we are dipping the lens in water, then focal length increases. Suppose for example at 20 centimeters we have dipped the lens to certain height which is greater than the focal length of the lens in air. So this shows that in focal length here we can see the image. This shows that focal length of the lens has increased in water. So by using this activity we conclude that here focal length of the lens depending upon the surrounding media. Here we are taking in a liquid, in presence of liquid, nothing in the presence of water. So focal length of the lens depends upon the surrounding media. So if whenever we are dipping the convex lens in the water, its focal length increases. So focal length of the lens depends upon the surrounding medium. Okay, now we prove that focal length of a convex lens is increased when it is kept in water. Okay, next we will go to the next question. How do you find focal length of a lens experimentally? Here in this question we have to find the focal length of a lens by experimental. Now let us discuss. Now first one, take a V stand and place it on a long table at the middle of the table. Next, place a convex lens on the V stand. Imagine the principal axis of the lens. Light a candle and ask your friend to take the candle far away from the lens along the principal axis. Here this is far away from the lens along the principal axis. This is the experimental arrangement. Here this is the V stand. Now this is V stand. This is V stand. This is lens. Here it is the object. We are taking object as a candle, and it is a screen. Here this is the image of this candle. This is the horizontal table. Take a V stand, place it on a long table at the middle of the table. Here this is the middle of the table. We have to fix the V stand and we have to place a convex lens on the V stand. Next, light a candle and ask your friends to take the candle far away from the lens along the principal axis. Go to the next point. Adjust screen, a sheet of paper placed perpendicular axis which is on the other side of the lens until you get an image on it. Measure the distance of the image from V stand of the lens and also measure the distance between the candle stand of the lens and stand of the lens and record the values in the table. This is the calculation of the distance, object distance and image distance. By using object distance and image distance, we have to calculate a focal length. See the table, object distance. After measuring the image distance and then we have to record these values in the table, object distance, image distance and focal length. Next, now place the candle at a distance of 60 centimeters from the lens. Try to get an image of the candle flame on the other side of the screen. Adjust the screen until you get a clear image. Measure the image distance and object distance and record the values in table. Repeat the experiment for various objects distances like 50 centimeter, 40 centimeter, 30 centimeter, etc. Measure image distance all the cases and note them in the table. Using the formula 1 by f is equals to 1 by v minus 1 by u, where u is the object distance and v is the image distance and f is the focal length. And by using this mirror formula, we have to calculate focal length in all the cases. We will observe the values of f is equal in all cases. This value of f is focal length of the given lens. This is the experimental verification of here we are finding the focal length. First we have to take a V stand and place it on the long table at the middle and we have to place a convex lens on the V stand and we have to take a imagine the principal axis of the lens and light a candle and ask your friends to take the candle away from the lens along the principal axis. Adjust the screen and sheet of paper, that is the screen, which is on the other side of the lens until you get a clear image. After adjusting, measure the distance of the image from the V stand of the lens and also measure the distance between candle and stand of the lens, that is object distance, and record the values. Now place the candle at a distance of 60 centimeters from the lens. Try to get an image of the candle flame on the other side of the screen. Adjust the screen till you get a clear image. After that, measure the image distance, that is V, and object distance, that is what we fixed is 60 centimeters, that is the object distance. And we have to record the values in the table U and V. And repeat the experiment for various objects distances like 50 centimeters, 40 centimeters, 30 centimeters, etc. Now measure image distances all the cases and note them in the table. Using the formula 1 by f is equals to 1 by v minus 1 by u. F is the focal length, v is the image distance and u is the object distance. Find f in all the cases. We will observe the value of f is equal in all cases. This value of f is the focal length of the given lens. Okay. Next we will go to the next question. In this question, draw ray diagrams for the following positions and explain the nature and position of image. Here in this question, they are asking that we have to draw the ray diagrams for the following positions and we have to explain the nature and position of image. Come to the first one. Object is placed at C2. Object is placed between F2 and optic center. So now I'll discuss one by one. First one, if the convergent lens is taken, convergent lens nothing but convex lens. Suppose first, if a convex lens is taken as an object, now we are placing the at center of curvature. So object is placed at center of curvature. Both object and image are same sized in this case. So whenever we are placing the object at center of curvature, the image place is also at center of curvature, but it's same size. Now what is the nature of the image? When the object is placed at the center of curvature on the principal axis, we will get the image at C1, which is real, inverted and of the same size. This is the nature of the image. The image is real and inverted and the same size of that of the object, and where object is placed at C2, image is also placed at the C1, same. So now next, this is the array diagram for this case. This is the convex lens and it is the notation of this convex lens. Arrow mark, here we are drawing the arrow mark. This is the image representation. This is the representation of the symbolical representation of the convex lens. Actually we have to represent like this. This is the convex lens, but we can represent in symbolically. This is the, like this arrow mark. Now first this is the object place at C2. This is the object. OJ is the object. Now we are sending the two rays. One is the ray which is parallel to the principal axis and it is passing through focus. The second ray which is passing through the optic center, it is undeviated. So these two rays are meeting at this point. This is the image point. So object is same place and here object is placed at C2. Image is placed on the C1. So same size and same here. This placed at C2 and it forms an C1. It is a real image, inverted image and same size of the object. Okay. Now next, suppose object is placed between F2 and optic center P. Now we are placing the object between F2 and optic center. See here, this is the convex lens and focus F1, F2 and the center of curvature C1 and C2. Now we are placing this is the object here. This is P, optic center P. This is object. We have to place the object in between F2 and focus and optic center. This is the object. One is the ray which is parallel to the principal axis passing through focus, and the another ray which is passing through the optic center. It is undeviated, and these two rays are extending. These two rays, they are meet at this point. This is the image point. So image formed in between F2 and C2. This is the image. This image is virtual, erect, and here this is the image. Now let us discuss nature of image. If we place an object between focus and optic center, we will get an image which is virtual, erect and magnified. If convex lens is used, now we are using concave lens or diverging lens. In the case of concave lens, we know that we will get an image on the principal axis in lens between principal axis in between focus and optic center, irrespective of the position of the object. So the image is erect, virtual and diminished in size. Now whenever here concave lens is always forms virtual image. So now we'll discuss first one. When the object is when the object is at C2. Now this is the case 1. So this is the representation of this concave lens. Here we are representing the like this concave lens. Now this is the representation of symbolical representation of concave lens. This is the concave lens, but we can take while you are drawing the ray diagram symbolical representation. So concave lens and principal axis, optic center, here optic center, and focus F1, center of curvature C1, focus F2, center of curvature C2. Now we are place the object is at C2. One is a ray which is parallel to principal axis, appear to be passing through focus. The another ray which is passing through the optic center is undeviated. These two rays are meet at this point. This is the image. So image is formed in between optic center and focus. So this is the image. So the image is virtual, erect and diminished, nothing but small. Okay, this is the first case. Now let us discuss second one. This is the second one when the object is in between the F2 and P. Now this is the concave lens and it is here optic center F2 and C2, here F1 and C1. Now we are placing the object in between F2 and optic center, nothing but focus and optic center. This is the object we are placing. One is the ray which is parallel and appear to be formed at passing through focus, and another ray which is passing through optic center, it is undeviated. These two rays are meeting at this point. So this point is known as the image point. In this case also the image is virtual, erect and diminished, and it is formed in between optic center and here we are the image is formed optic center and focus. Okay, now these are the two cases while you are using concave lens. Okay, thanks for watching this video.